Oh, when you take the lid off, the smell is amazing.
And this is by request from my son. Well, I'll admit, I don't mind them at all. This is like no-name dollar store ramen noodles. It could have been down in the zombie room we have with our storage for a little while, I'm not sure. And then we found these half-sized cans of Spam. We're going to use 2. So I'm going to maybe make enough lunch for 2 days, I'm not sure. Got your isopropane, isobutane propane, whatever. I don't know. I just got this one at Canadian Tire, a Woods brand, but $7. We're going to need that. And my super ultralight. I think this with the baggie is about 28 grams when I weighed it. Not that it's a review on this thingy. And it's a little fiddly. I find sometimes you got to spin it the right way. That's the Luxada titanium stove. Got to put the stove together. So I'm going to screw that on here. And make sure I thread it right. It's going to have a bit of gas leak out when I screw it on. That's just the way it goes. There you go. Done. I'm going to not quite start that yet. When we get to cooking, first I'm going to add some water. We'll come back to that in a minute. Once I get it boiling, I'm going to move it over. So, what do we need? We need some water, and then we'll come to the ingredients of ramen, our Spam. What else did I bring out for some spice? Oh yeah, so I did throw in a little bit of butter and an onion chopped up and some President's Choice seasoning for if you were going to barbecue some veg. I just want to spice it up a bit, and that should be about it really. So adding water. I think ramen you need about 2.5 cups, so this is 500 mil, or for Americans 2 cups. We're going to have this. And I'll move the camera closer in a little bit. We have this, maybe half of this, and you could do a little less. It's not going to hurt, I don't think, depending what you're adding in, how much liquid. I can eyeball it down to the bottom of the ring here, so we're not quite there. And some of it you can boil off if you need to. But it's amazing how much water ramen can soak up. Now, you guys at home maybe can help me out here. Because sometimes I have a hard time seeing where measuring lines are. That looks about right to me. A little bit thirsty. You want to do that after you've added your water. So what I'm going to do, I'll put the lid on this for now. I'm going to start this up. Okay. And stand up here. Find me a lighter or a fire striker or something. So, dollar store. Big fan of it for camping. Although, the lighters, I don't think I'll buy them again. I found the lighter not super awesome. So I want to start it up, give it a bit of a twist, get your lighter ready. Not have to be too high. Now remember, I'm not a big fan of these no-name lighters. Bic's better. They work. There we go. And we don't need that up super high to begin with. Get back here. And while I'm working, I'll move that over to the side where we'll get the water going, and we'll bring the camera back in a minute. Now, there's not a crazy amount of wind, so we should be okay here. Let that go. There. So there's that old saying, never watch a boiling pot or some such thing like that, or I don't know, whatever it is, something about a kettle or pot. So we're going to want to kill a bit of time here or do something useful. I'm going to take the key off the Spam. Now these can be a little finicky. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. We're going to open up our Spam though and chop that up and throw it in with the onions. You don't really need the butter. I wanted that for the onions. I think this is going to have a lot of grease and stuff coming out. So we'll be right back. All right, well, other camera has decided it needed more of a charge, so here we are. Still wanted to get this done because my little guy wanted it actually. Only took about 5-6 minutes, even less probably. Got a good boil going. So I'm going to put you down for a second and I'm just going to throw in the ramen noodles. Okay. I don't even know my phone did that. Turn it on with my thumb from the sensor on the other side. So we got your ramen noodles. Now don't pour the bag straight over the pot because you don't want to do things like I might do every now and again. And so forget that there's a package in there. And you want to put your pack inside the ramen when it's open and the powder, not the plastic in the boiling water. So we'll do that in a second. I did my tear off with the T technique, which thought might be easy one-handed, and ended up needing to put the phone down. We'll add our spice. I like to do that right in the boil. Yeah, I'm going to add in some of that other stuff too. Did I tear off enough of a hole there? Oh yeah, just got to be, don't rush. Don't rush. All right. Into the pocket. Got that fake chicken. I think that was fake chicken. Might be real chicken, but I don't know. I'm suspicious when it comes to that. So I like to let that go for about 2 minutes on the boil. I'll put the lid back on in a second, but we are going to add some of that vegetable rub for the barbecue from President's Choice. Yeah, if you haven't used this stuff, I like it on a potato or some carrots or something, or whatever other veg you're going to put in with a bit of butter on the barbecue. Just brush it on and then put a bit of this stuff. It's got a nice smell to it. A little bit of heat. Yeah, you can add a little more later. We're going to put the lid back on after I stir this up. Let's see if I can do that one. And I probably can do that. Not a really good stir, though, if I want to steady the pot, which I think is not a horrible idea on a stove like so. So I'll come back to stirring in a minute. Put the lid on, though, and we'll come back. In about 2 minutes. So I picked up something to put my pot down so it doesn't mess up the picnic table. Let's have a look in here. And I think that's enough time. We'll let it sit. Okay, so got a bit of butter, onions, get that going. It's already starting to sizzle, which is great. So I'm going to chop up some Spam, and we'll see how that goes. I wish you guys could smell this. Got the sizzle going for sure. I got half a can in there. I'm going to stir that around in a second. I want both hands just to steady the pot and brush that around. Onions and a bit of that vegetable rub really make a huge difference in the smell and probably the taste. I haven't actually tried this recipe. I just thought I'm going to give it a go. The ramen are just poofing up there. I've stolen the lid because I chopped up the other half here, or the other smaller can. I'm going to fry that first and then dump that in there and maybe fry that in a second load just so there's lots of room in there. I want to get all the sides of that Spam kind of caramelized if possible. Let's see how it goes. Home for broke here. Took the other half can I had chopped up on the lid, popped it in there, and put the lid on to trap some of the heat. Noodles will poof up some more here. I know I should have the lid on there, but they'll be all right. And wow, this is the nicest smelling Spam I have ever had. Now, I have heard of someone making spooshi out of Spam, and I hear there's an old Boy Scout tradition. I think this happened at either their jamborees or we have something called Brotherhood that we share every other year with Scouts Canada and Boy Scouts, where they come over to our side and we have a jamboree, we go over there. But I think they had a tradition where at the Scout section level, they would all have to come up with, as Scouts, some kind of a Spam meal that they would serve up to Scouters, and the Scouters would have to eat it. And I've heard of Spam cake, amongst other things, even Spam jelly. So don't know if that's a real thing. It's just things you hear about, weird stories from other Scouter types. I could live with that, I think. Oh, look at that background music. Michael Jackson. All right. The ramen is soaking up some more of that liquid, which is good. And I think I might use just one water bottle instead of 1.5. I think it might be depending on the noodles and so on. Who knows? Or I could have just let them boil longer. But they do look nice and soft in there. Now, you've just seen the top of a lid. But I love that sizzling sound. Stove's not on too high right now. You know, just open a bit. I'm going to give one more stir and then probably dump it in, but we'll take the lid off in a second. All right, sizzling away. Doing a pretty good job. Oh, when you take the lid off, the smell is amazing. That's right, the smell of Spam is amazing. Oh my goodness, onions, butter,
A little bit of vegetable rub for the barbecue in there to give it a bit of spice. I can smell garlic, pepper in there. Not sure what else, but it smells marvelous. So I'll let this go for only 1 more minute. I can't take it anymore. This stuff's already cooked anyway. Fried Spam, onions and good stuff. Okay, I keep lingering on that because it smells so good and I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. Did a lot of walking yesterday with a lot of weight. We're on a camp trip with my buddy and my son. Now, he did want those noodles, but they weren't on the menu. So we're having some for lunch today. So we're going to add this into that. We'll see how that comes out of the no-stick pan. They're not really super no-stick, but I feel like that'll scrape up pretty easy. And when I say scrape, not with the metal or hard edge. So mix it in here with the spatula. I can't wait, guys. Look. I was going to talk, cut away, do something, but I can't. I can't do it. I'm coming in close. It's a little shaky. Going in the mouth. And for ramen and spam combined, they just make each other so much better. So there's that old saying, never watch a boiling pot or some such thing like that, or I don't know, whatever it is, something about a kettle or pot.